I follow the pieces when you walk by. Hi gang, Jeff Stone here with day 27 of the year 2016 at magicreviewed.com. Pieces, Christian Ingblom. Well, let's dive in. Effect, method, ad copy, product quality. Effect. It's Triumph by Vernon, but it's cleaner. And it's, you spread the cards on the table after you've done the face-up, face-down shuffle, and you show the cards are clearly face-up, face-down. Then you square the deck, no funny moves, and you spread again instantly, and the deck's complete, completely all facing the same way except for a selected card. That's the effect. And depending on all of the versions end clean, where the deck is examinable. Depending on which method you use, one method, you do the spread immediately and show that they've righted themselves, but the deck can't be examined yet. The other method is you do a little quick thing and then spread the deck, and the deck can be examined. In either case, they're both legitimate methods. Just depends on your preference or whatever. So that's the effect. The method, ad copy integrity, and product quality have some issues. The method, the issues aren't too, well, maybe not so many issues with the method, but so you're supplied a gimmick, and the gimmick does its job once you learn how to operate it. But man, that is hard to do. I played with that thing for hours. It's 5 o'clock in the morning right now, and I've been playing with it I started looking at the stuff I'm going to review tonight at about 11 o'clock. So hours. And I never could get it to actually work. I mean, there's a way to manually, not secretly in the open, put the gimmick in place the way it needs to be to make the trick work, but you could never do that in performance. So I'm able to do that to prove that the gimmick works, but getting the gimmick there in performance, it's very hard. And it's very knacky. And I watched the video that shows you how to do it, probably just that segment of it, that clip of it, probably 8 or 10 times to make sure that I'm understanding every little thing you need to do to make it work. And I'm just assuming, because I saw him do it, and I'm assuming that he's not, somehow scamming us or whatever. I'm assuming that it's just really hard to do. And so this ties in with ad copy, or with product quality, which is then give us the inside scoop on this thing, man. We'll talk more about the teaching in a minute. So the gimmicks themselves are brilliant. A super clever idea. I've never seen anything like this before. It's brilliant. And getting the gimmick out of the deck, piece of cake, or pieces of cake. By the way, you don't get a DVD, you get a streaming video. If at any time in this video I say DVD, I meant streaming video or downloadable. You can download it or stream it. So, the method, I believe, is legitimate. I really do. Because the gimmick does work. It's just you have to manipulate it to get it into place. And that manipulation is hard. Secondly, and this again ties in with the teaching segment, which is product quality, but it talks about that this can be done with a borrowed deck, and it can. You load the gimmick into the borrowed deck. Now, if the borrowed deck happens to have a back design than your gimmick, then there are some limitations to the way you perform it, but it still can be done. But the way he teaches you to load it into the deck is, it's muddy at best. I'm not kidding, I watched that section probably 20 times. And I rewound it and rewatched it and rewound it and rewatched it and rewound it and rewatched it. And it just doesn't play out the way he says. So I did exactly what he says on how to load the gimmick in and how to, you got to load the gimmick in. Then you have to do a perfect faro of a small portion of the deck. And then you have to, so an incomplete faro, but a perfect one. You can't miss any of the cards. And then you have to do a couple of cuts and then get everything in place. And then when I do that and I follow the instructions and then I go to the next step, my deck does not match up with the way his deck is when he shows you where you should be at. And I have yet to be able to figure out what I'm doing wrong. And because the instructions on how to do it are just unclear. He's saying one thing, but he's doing something else that's leading you to a different place than what he's saying you're supposed to be doing. I hope that made some level of sense. On top of that, there's like he made a statement when he does part of this this thing where he's setting it up with a borrowed deck. Then he says, then I cut the bottom and the top, and I don't even know what he meant by that. And you can't see what he's doing. The camera's too far away. It makes no sense. And then when he spreads out the deck to show you the position you're in, my deck is not in that position. So it's just a mess, that part of it, for doing it with the borrowed deck. And he doesn't even really go into how to get the gimmick set up with a normal deck. I mean, he covers it, but not in any great detail. So, I know I'm talking about the teaching quality. I need to get back to the ad copy because there's some important problems there. Again, go read the written review because I detailed it way more gooder over there. Way better over there. So go watch the video. If you like the 2 tricks in the video trailer, you can't do them because he doesn't teach them. Those tricks aren't taught on the video anywhere. See, I almost said DVD there. So if you want to learn the tricks that are in the ad trailer, tough. They're not taught. The first trick they show is you spread the deck out and all of the cards are mixed up. It's clearly been shuffled. Then you square up the deck, snap your fingers, and then spread the deck again, and it's in new deck order. He performs that on the DVD or on the video, but he doesn't teach it. Then the second trick he shows, it's basically a triumph, but A, they cheat a little bit in having the way the guy selects the card. B, at the end of the triumph, there's two cards that are face up. Right, typical triumph, right? All the cards are face down, but the selection. In this one, it was the selection and its mate, so like the 2 of spades and the 2 of clubs. That's not taught anywhere on the DVD. It doesn't even address it. It doesn't even mention it. Nothing. So the ad copy is crap. I mean, it's just, I don't know what to say other than that. The written ad copy doesn't say much, so I can't really say anything negative about that. But the 2 tricks shown in the trailer are not taught. They do mention in the written ad copy that it is a triumph style effect that's cleaner and whatever, and that's all true. And then at the end of the video trailer, Christian Ingblom says that this was based on a challenge that Juan Tamarez gave him to be able to use a borrowed deck and have these certain criteria happen and shuffle the deck face up and face down and really show it and everything. And so, yeah, he does cover that, but he even admits in the video that getting this set up in a borrowed deck is a bit of a process. It is. It's a pain, and it wasn't clearly taught. So, speaking of that, let's dive into the product quality. The DVD's fine, or the video's fine. It's well shot and all that stuff, but the teaching is so rushed through and so unclear and so messy. This is a weird kind of gimmick that has, it's very clever, but it has some orientation, not issues, because the issues sounds like a bad thing, but it needs to be oriented a certain way. And throughout the routine, the orientation of the gimmick changes. And I was never really clear when it was changing and what was going on. And there's plenty of times where he should have just stopped and then sort of exposed what's really happening with the deck or whatever, but he didn't, and so it was just it was unclear. I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it. There's just so much stuff that I watched several sections of this video multiple times because I just wanted to make sure that maybe I didn't miss something or whatever. I didn't, so there was one part where I literally thought I had to have dozed off. That's what I thought. I didn't. It was the part where he performed that trick that's in the trailer, where he shows the cards face up, all mixed up, and then spreads again, and they become all new deck order. It showed that, and then at the end of it, it faded to black, and then the text comes back on the screen, and I thought it was going to say, that trick's explanation, but it didn't. It said 2 bonus ideas, and I thought, okay, did I doze off for a second and just miss the explanation? I really thought I blacked out, but I didn't. I rewound it, and sure enough, he just didn't do it. So there's just so many things wrong with the explanation, the teaching. There's just too many problems, man. Too many problems. Too much stuff that is just so unclear and messy. And the other thing, this is more of a method thing. This is not a negative. This is just a fact. You have to be seated to perform this trick. So if you don't perform seated, you might as well turn off the review now. You can't do this trick. Or if there is a way to do it standing, he doesn't cover it. And you kind of have to have a pretty good wide area where you can spread the cards on the table, and it has to be on like a mat or a felt surface. Can't be on a glass, like a coffee table or what do you call it? Just a hard table without a cloth on it. Sorry, my brain cramped up there. It's fried from trying to learn this thing. I will never do this trick ever. I'm not a big fan of the table stuff anyway. I like in the hand stuff better. But even if I was, I can't do this trick. I'll never be able to do it because the work involved, I still have not been able to get the gimmicks to work properly. Now, there's plenty of you card guys out there that will figure it out, and you'll come up with your own way to get to the right positions, and you'll just be able to figure it out by watching him and just an old Navy term, but nuke it out is what we'd say, because the guys in the nuclear program were the ones that were always teased, and I was in the nuclear program as being overthinkers, and they think too much and everything, and so they always would. Like if someone was trying to hook up a projector and the guy couldn't figure out how to hook it up, the drill sergeant would be like, "Don't nuke it, man. Just figure it out. Just do it. Don't nuke it out." And whereas don't overthink it. But overthinking sometimes is helpful. And so you might be able to overthink and think a lot and nuke this out, figure it out. Anyway, that's probably the worst description of nuking it out I've ever given to anybody. Oh my gosh, these reviews have been rambly lately. So, bottom line is, if you want to learn, first of all, if you want to learn the stuff that's shown in the ad trailer, it's not anywhere to be found. But if you didn't care about that, you just wanted to learn the basic triumph effect, good luck. It's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard to learn it after watching these. And I don't mean hard technically. Yes, that too. But I mean hard because the instructions are just poorly done, frankly. I'm sorry. I mean, Christian Engblom's a smart guy, very smart guy, and a nice guy. But the teaching on this video was not very good. So I can't. There's probably more I'm forgetting. But bottom line on this thing, the gimmick comes out of the deck very easily. It's very easy, very clever how it works. And there is one other thing. So there's 2 variations of the gimmick. There's the one you're supplied with, and then there's the one that he used to use. Now he talked about this in the evolution section of the DVD of the video of how this product evolved over time. And the method that he supplied us, the gimmick he supplied us, is different from his old school version. Well, they both have pros and cons, and he teaches you how to use both, but he only supplies you with one. Now, he shows you how to take your gimmick and turn it into the old kind of gimmick, but it's a permanent alteration. In fact, he wouldn't even do it on the video to show us. He just talked you through it because he said, I don't want to ruin this set, this gimmick. So there are pros and cons based on what I'm seeing on the video, and there's a lot of things about the other gimmick I think I would like better, and it would actually solve one of the problems I think it'll solve it, the problem I'm having, which is being able to activate the gimmick, so to speak, to get the gimmick in place. And I think the version that he did not supply us with would work. But the only way to do that is I'd have to modify my gimmick permanently. Well, what if I end up not liking that? I want to go back to this method. Well, I can't. So he should have supplied 2 sets of gimmicks, or just not talked about the other one. Anyway, enough. Go read the review, guys. This video is way too long. 2.5 stars. Stone status of Grubble. That's 2 Grubbles in 2 days, man. That ain't right. So, it's time for you to push that button. And now, you know, now that I think about it, am I even pointing to the right way? I think it might be over here. I don't even know anymore. I'm so confused. Point to this. Click that button somewhere right there. Like this video. Listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which is Raised by Wolves. Okay, why is this on my list? By U2. I do not like U2. They have 3 songs I like. I don't know how I got this album. So we're putting it in, but I'm taking this off the playlist. Raised by Wolves from U2. Sorry, Bono. Just not a fan. Anyway, tune in tomorrow, guys. Day 28 for Queen of Wildness by Chef Sao. I hope he's got some General Tso's chicken. I do like that. All right, I'm done. See you next time, folks. Thanks for watching. Peace out.